The genetic effects of radiation. Nor is the sun itself new, we might add. There is nothing new under the sun. As long as life has existed on Earth, it has been exposed to radiation from the sun. Life and radiation are old acquaintances and have learned to live together. Where should the sentence to be placed, right? So you can see that this sounds like a good introductory statement because this part cannot start my paragraph, right? I can say there is nothing new under the sun, nor is the sun itself new, we might add, right? So sentence 2 should come before sentence 1. Which word is synonymous with acquaintances and best suits the meaning? Life and radiation are old acquaintances, are old, I've learned to live together, are old, so definitely not enemies or strangers. They are old friends and have learned to live together, or rather old associates, right? I'll go with friends. That sounds better in context. We're accustomed to looking upon sunlight as certainly we could not live long without it due to its benefit. We are accustomed to looking upon sunlight as something good, useful, and desirable, and certainly as something good, and certainly we could not live long without it. Something, and certainly we could not live long without it. Okay. Okay, certainly not A, because we are used to looking upon it as something good, useful, and desirable, and certainly we could not live long. So I'm, yeah, between C and D, we definitely want not live long without it. Or do we need to say, yeah, I'll go with D because it's just more explanatory. I don't think it's repetitive. The energy of sunlight warms the earth, produces the winds, right? I have to go with parallel structure. So parallel structure mandates that if I'm saying warms the earth, I have to use the same form here, produces the winds that tend to equalize Earth's temperatures, evaporates the oceans, and produces rain and fresh water. So this is wrong. Produces, this is wrong. Warms the earth, produces the winds that tend to equalize. This is wrong. Evaporates the ocean, so C. Most important of all, it supplies what is needed for green plants to convert carbon dioxide and water into food and oxygen, making it possible for all animal life to live. Yet sunlight has its dangers too. Lizards avoid the direct rays of the noonday sun on the desert, and we ourselves take precautions against sunburn and sunstroke. So here, I could have done a colon after 2, or I could have used a full stop, right? So the way it's written is wrong because you definitely need a break there. This while is wrong because I'm explaining what went before, and a comma is also wrong because that would just create a comma splice. So B. The same division into good and bad is to be found in connection with other forms of radiation, which mankind has only recently become aware of. Which mankind is only, this is wrong. The same division is to be found in connection, which, no, this is wrong. The same division, yeah, so the best way is the way it's written. The same division is to be found in connection with other forms of radiation, which mankind has only recently become aware of. Such radiations produced by radioactivity in the soil and reaching us from outer space have also been with us from the beginning of time. They are more energetic than sunlight, however, and can do more damage. And because our senses do not detect them, we, like slow turtles in a race, have not learned to take precautions against them. Yeah, so now we have to choose the correct simile. So obviously trained assassins in battle doesn't make sense. Legless fish on land, right? That's the only analogy that works, because we have not adapted to this radiation. We don't know how to deal with it, just as fish do not. Lazy cats in bed or slow turtles in a race, no, those don't make sense, right? To be sure, energetic radiation is present in nature in only very small amounts and is not therefore much of a danger. Man, however, has the capacity of uh, imitating nature. Okay, not much of a danger. Okay. Long ago in dim prehistory, for instance, he learned to manufacture a kind of sunlight by setting wood and other fuels on fire. This involved a new kind of good and bad. A whole new technology became possible on the one hand, and on the other, the chance of death by burning was also possible. The good in this case outweighs the evil. So I think I'll go with imitating nature, because this example talks about how man learned to manufacture a kind of sunlight, right? So that would fit imitating nature, not ruining, ignoring, or endangering. Long ago, he learned to manufacture a kind of sunlight, right? So yes, I want to keep this sentence because it provides a detailed example for the claim made in the previous sentence. Yes, option A. Uh, yeah, so definitely it explains the previous sentence, and then we also need it because it connects with the next part. In our own 20th century, mankind learned to produce energetic radiation in concentrations far surpassing those we usually encounter in nature. Again, a new technology is resulting, and again, there is the possibility of death. The balance in this second instance is less certainly in favor of the good over the evil. To shift the balance clearly in favor of the good, it is necessary for mankind. It is necessary, right? Not it's necessary. This its is the pronoun, so that's wrong. And they are in there is also wrong. It's necessary for mankind to learn as much as possible about the new dangers in order that we might minimize them and most effectively guard against them. Okay, again, the development of technology can be helpful in learning how to defend ourselves. Death is inevitable. Electromagnetic waves emitted are especially high in energy. To see the nature of the danger, let us begin by considering living tissue itself, the living tissue that must withstand the radiation and can be damaged by it. So definitely B and C is not relevant. Learn as much as possible about the new dangers. And what should we do to minimize the dangers, right? I think I'll go with A, because that's connecting with the minimization of danger bit, right? Okay, let's grade this. 23. B, C, D, C, B. B, C, D, C, B. Okay, so 24 is C. They think associates is a better answer. Associates is actually closer to acquaintances, so that makes sense. Okay, and then 28, A, D, A, A, B, D. A, D, A, A, B, and D. Okay, so this one is D. To see the nature of the danger, let us begin by considering living tissue itself, right?